We start off by picking a twin, and I decide I will go for Eva because I think Eva is way better than Lumine. And the only thing I can name this account is Gingers only because of course we will only play Ginger characters. After we then lost our sister and came to the beach, we go over the rules. First rule, of course, I can only use Gingers. Second rule, no co-op. And third rule, all weapons are allowed. So 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, everything I pull, no matter the color or whatever, what else it could be. And all artifacts are allowed. So we walk with Paimon to the statue and get introduced to the beautiful landscapes of Mondstadt. After the cutscene, we get the power of Animal, which will be completely useless to us because Eva, of course, is not a ginger but a blonde. And that means we can't use him to fight or do anything really. So the problem that appears now is that we have to do a tutorial because we got new animal powers. And this tutorial is problematic because they want you to kill some slimes with Eva's new abilities. But I found a way around that by pushing the slimes into the water and using my abilities far away from them so they won't get hit by that. So technically we didn't kill anything with Eva, so that's fine. And this took a bit longer than I wanted to because those slimes kept jumping out of the water. So let's go over the characters we can use. Maurika, of course, she has red hair, it's very clear. The same thing goes for Cheska. Cheska's hair is also red. After that, we would have Gaming. Gaming's hair is not fully red, but a part of it is red. And I think I'm going to count it because otherwise they are. So I decided that all characters that have a part red hair can be used in this challenge. So yeah. Charlotte, I counted Charlotte because all pink characters count because they are red technically in this challenge. Then we have Nilu. Nilu counts, of course, because of her red hair. Dory counts because of the same reason as Charlotte. Hazel counts, he has also red hair. Miku counts because of her pink hair. And Yanfei counts because of her pink hair. Rosaria counts because of her red hair. Then we have Diluc. Diluc counts because it's very oblivious why he counts. And then I decided that Shenyan would also count because she has a small red thing in her hair, and I will get over to that part later why she counts. After getting Ember, I needed to clean a Hilichurl camp, but I still didn't have any ginger characters, so I decided that I would burn the Hilichurls by pushing them in the campfire, so I won't kill any of them with my characters, but with the fire instead. That way I still didn't break any rules by not using gingers. Then we do our first temple and we get Xinyan. And this was my third reroll account, and I thought like, yeah, she had a bit red in her hair, and then I thought like, yeah, I could count it. Amber's domain was quite easy because we had Xinyan, and Xinyan is a pyro character, and she could do basically everything that Amber would have done here in this part, so it was very easy and we got over in it in just a few minutes.
Dragon's breath! Is that?
Kaya's domain was quite easy. We first killed the Hilichurls in the room full of water, then we walk to the fire and sprint through it so we don't get any damage. After that, there's a room with many pyro slimes, and killing pyro slimes with a pyro character is just annoying as hell. We jump over the spikes. Then we meet Diluc, the first ginger hair character in our journey till now. And as you can see, he's also pyro like many of the other ginger characters. That's why we don't really have a lot of elements to use in this challenge other than pyro. After that, I decided to pull on Child on a Chronicle Wish banner because he's a ginger and he's hydro and works very well with pyro, but we didn't get anything we can use. Next is Lisa's domain, and I tried to skip a few times and failed a few times, but in the end I got it, so I didn't have to do the electro puzzle. After that, I fell off the platforms because I got impatient, but after the second try, I got it. I then did a few ley lines to get XP for my adventure rank, since we needed adventure rank 10, and I decided to do a quests in a book. After reaching AR 10, we did a temple on standard.
I'm Sucrose, a researcher.
After we didn't get anything useful from the standard banner, I was hoping the Chronicle Wish banner could maybe give us something we could use more, but it didn't.
Hello!
I then looked if I can do any try runs or if there are any gingered characters besides Rosaria in those try runs where I can do another try run with them. But unfortunately, there weren't any, so I just did Rosaria's trial. Of course, only using Rosaria since there weren't any other gingers in it. We then go back to the Akon quest and fight an Eye of the Storm for Venti, which was quite annoying because I didn't have anything to shoot it down and had to wait till it got to the ground. And then it did that very annoying move where it stays up in the air for very long and you get damage from it. And yeah, it was quite annoying. I hated every second of it. Then Venti decides that we should go and steal the Holy Lyre for him because he didn't want to do that. Since the Fatui stole the Holy Lyre before we could steal it, Diluc decides to help us, and we go to the Fatui's hideout to clear it. We get to use Diluc in this domain and his best weapon. I was so happy to use someone who would actually do a lot of damage, even in this early game, and yeah, I love playing Diluc, and since he's a ginger character, I could use him in this whole domain, and it was just a lot faster and way easier than it would be without him. The Pyro agent in the end didn't stand a chance, not only because of Diluc's very good damage, but also because Shen Yan has a shield. When I fought the Ruin Guard, I already missed Diluc's damage because Shen Yan is mostly skilled with physical, for those who don't know, and her pyro damage isn't that great, and Ruin Guards are immune to physical. This fight took so long and it was just such a pain to get this tier. The second tier is in a domain with, you guessed it, Pyro Slimes, because of course, who doesn't love Pyro Slimes in a playthrough where most of my characters will be or are Pyro characters. This was also very annoying and I hate Pyro Slimes, really, because they're fully immune to Pyro damage and it was exhausting. But after that we got a few Electro Slimes and it was cool because we could use Overlord. We took the Pyro Abyss Mage's shield down with the water, so it was quite easy to defeat it. Last here is just a chest in the forest and we got there without any issues. After unlocking the shop in Mondstadt, I immediately bought some materials for the sword to level it up. Sacrificial Greatsword, that is something we will be sticking with for a while now. And I can't normally level it up because I can't open the domain. Then I went to fight Xingyan's boss, the Pyro Registfine. It was so annoying because its pyro resistance is so high and my physical damage was like nothing because of the Koala. This fight took over 20 minutes. We then go back to the Akon quest and fight a Hydro Abyss Mage, which is pretty easy because Pyro and Hydro react together and the shield breaks down way better than Pyro Abyss Mages. We then go to Storm Terror's lair to break the seals, and I had to fight another Pyro Abyss Mage, and it was so annoying and took so long because you only could hurt it with my physical damage, and it took almost everything of the fight. And I even died once against it, and I had to restart the whole fight and do it all over again. Again, it was so annoying to fight pyro enemies with Xingyan. I would never recommend this to anyone. We then go to fight the Wallen in the sky with a level 3 Traveler because I didn't want to level him up because it was useless anyway. And can I say I hate this flying phase? I play on mobile and it's so hard to hit it on mobile. I hated every second of it. After that, the Wallen was taken down pretty easily. We didn't use Wendy at all because he's not a ginger, and Xinyan finished him off in the second phase. After getting back to Mondstadt, we clean up the mess the Hilichus made while we were away, because the Knights of Ruvonias couldn't defend the city without us, it seems. We then get a useless Barbara. Kaya then decides that his story quest is way more important than the Akon quest, which is why we had to do a part of it first before we can take on the Akon quest again. And can I say it's so annoying that you can't like lock quests you already obtained so you can focus on one quest? It really ruins the experience of the Akon quest. And guess what happened just after that? Ember decides that her story quest is also way more important than the Akon quest, and we had to talk to her in her story quest and do part of her story quest just so we could finish the Akon quest by eating with her lunch.
Should have held your tongue.
We finish Mondstadt at around 3.5 hours and go to do the Lantern Ride event. The Lantern Ride event gives us a lot of primos, and that's why I decided to do it as fast as possible and include it in this video, even if this video will only be about Mondstadt. I wanted to get as many primo gems as possible while also enjoying the Lantern Ride event because I wanted to pull for Child, and I was hoping to get him on this account somehow because he's a very good unit and he's Ginger, of course. After getting enough points to choose a character, we choose Yanfei to be a new Ginger character in our party because she is a catalyst and Shinyan's C1 really isn't that important. Yanfei is a great addition to the team. Even if she's another pyro character, she can deal a lot of damage if you invest into her, and her C4 gives her a shield, even if we don't have that yet. And her materials are also pretty easy to farm. But I just need a new book for her, but for now Thrilling Tales will do. I don't really have any good artifacts yet, so I don't really have a build I'm using right now. Then I started using up my wishes on the Chronicle Wish banner in hopes of getting Child.
Hey boss, the name's Gaming. I'm a guard.
Getting a Gaming was perfect because he was another character we can use and also a character that can deal a lot of damage as a DPS. Yeah, but the problem, of course, is that he's also Pyro, so now we have 3 Pyro characters and no other elements, which could be a problem. I did the other pulls and then this happened. Getting a Yanfei constellation was also very good for us because Yanfei constellations aren't like the best, but the more constellations you have, the stronger she will get, and it's another step to C4. Gaming will be a great addition to the team, even if we now have 2 greatsword characters and a catalyst, but that won't be much of a problem. Thanks for watching till the end. I will see you in the next part. Next part is Leeway.